There's a new study this morning that suggests eating too much red meat could pose an even more serious health risk than we first thought. Our medical specialist, Dr. Karl, is with us via Skype from Toronto for more on this. Nice to see you, Dr. Karl.
Good morning.
Okay, we knew red meat wasn't good for us, too much red meat, but we're learning this morning it really isn't good for us. In fact, even just small amounts can lead to an early death, according to this study. Tell us a little bit more about what the research has found.
Well, sure. So what basically they're saying is that for every extra serving of unprocessed red meat, so steak or a piece of lamb or something like that, you're increasing your risk of overall death by 13%. When you go to the processed meats like bacon or cold cuts or sausage, we're talking about a 20% increase for every extra serving of processed red meat. Now, the flip side of that, which they also looked at, which is every time you substitute, instead of red meat, you substitute something like legumes or nuts or fish or chicken, you can reduce your risk of early death by between 7 to 19%.
So is that pretty clear cut then as you look at those numbers? I mean, they looked at a large number of people. They followed them for many years. How conclusive do you think we can view this research?
Well, that's really one of the strengths of this research. So this is research coming out of Harvard. They were using a couple of large cohorts of health professionals, actually, that they've been following for many years. So they were able to look at large numbers of people. They were able to look at the people's diets using a questionnaire that has been validated. So we can be pretty sure that what they reported they were eating, they actually were eating. And so, and the other interesting piece about this research is they broke it down by unprocessed and processed meat. And it gives us a sense, as we already sort of knew anyway, that processed meats tend to be more damaging potentially to your heart.
And as you said, well, 20% greater risk of death with early death with processed meats, and 13% with unprocessed meats. Now, you happen to be talking to a carnivore, Dr. Karl. I love my burgers. I love my steak. I'm among my favorite of foods, and I know that people watching will be in that same category. So what's a carnivore like me to do? How much meat can I eat?
Well, I think the message here is, is moderation. So we, as a society, we probably eat too much red meat if you look at the results of the study, for example. And it's really about balancing your sources of protein. So instead of having meat maybe every night of the week, mix it up, throw in some chicken, some fish. Go for a vegetarian meal every now and then where you're having legumes like lentils, for example. That's going to help to offset and sort of balance out the risk. So you can still enjoy your meat, but also get healthy protein from other sources.
Lentils. I'm going to have a whole new appreciation. Love the chicken already, but we'll have to find other alternatives as well. Dr. Karl, thanks very much. It's a story many people are interested in this morning, and thanks for sharing.
Thank you.